Warning! The root's on fire! You're about to experience the most high-octane, pedal-to-the-metal controversial show of your life. Please buckle up and hold on tightly. This station is not responsible for injuries. This is Wayne Allyn Root, raw and unfiltered, with America's favorite conservative rock star. Direct from the entertainment capital of the world, Las Vegas. What time is it? It's time for war! Here's your host, 100% raw truth, 100% American made, the warrior, Wayne Allyn Root.
All right, Wayne Allyn Root, the root's on fire. You know why I love holidays? Not only did I get a wonderful 3.5 days off, because, Friday afternoon, took off the afternoon of the podcast, and then all day Saturday, all day Sunday, all day Monday. 3.5 wonderful days off, and then the next week, short week. Because today's Monday, right? No, it's Tuesday. It is our Monday, but it's Tuesday. So tomorrow's already Wednesday, midweek. It's great. God, do I love holidays. Everyone does, right? Everyone does. That's what makes America great. Lots of great holidays. Up next, July 4th. That's the next one we're tracking. Beautiful July 4th holiday. So, here's my bugaboo, right? My big thing. You know what? I have to mention this first. Even though this is a national podcast, and so many of you are in 50 states, even though this is a nationally syndicated radio show, many of you are in 50 states, we have a very Vegas-centric crowd. And a lot of people listen to me on the radio in Las Vegas. It's afternoon drive. And a lot of people watch this podcast in Las Vegas. And so they're all asking me, I'm getting hundreds and hundreds of emails. Who do I vote for? Who do I vote for? Well, first of all, in a lot of races, I have no idea. Just like you. I have no idea. It's eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I've never met these people. I've never interviewed these people. They've never come to me to ask for my endorsement. They've never told me why I should pick them. So I didn't endorse anyone I didn't know. But I endorsed all the people I knew, and I give you the list of all the right judges to vote for. And, of course, who just left, literally, my home TV studio here? Dr. Jeff Gunter, running for United States Congress. You hear his ads on this show all the time. You see his ads on the podcast all the time. He's like a brother to me. We're best friends in the world, brother from another mother. In a very short, I've known him a long time, but in a short period, in the last year, we've really become best friends in the world. He is like my brother, and I believe he'd be the best U.S. congressman we could ever get. And so I just did a TV ad for him that's going to start running on Fox News and Newsmax throughout Las Vegas in the coming days, probably starting tomorrow or the day after. So Jeff just left, literally, my TV studio in the last hour. And so one of the people I'm endorsing is for CD3, United States Congress, Jeff Gunter, Dr. Jeff Gunter, Ambassador Jeff Gunter, Trump's ambassador to Iceland, which is a NATO country, by the way, and was a great, great ambassador and is a great, great doctor. But he's not just a doctor. Anyone could be a doctor. He's a skin cancer surgeon, one of the few in America called a Mohs surgeon, his specialty. And he's got 21 skin cancer clinics, I believe it's 21, all over the United States of America. And a very wealthy, successful superstar, man. The guy's a stud. And he's got a lot of money, and that's the reason why you should vote for him. Not because he's rich, but because you can't bribe him. Most of these candidates, I got to tell you, almost everybody running for Congress needs the money. They need the $175,000 a year and all the bribes they can get, all the money they can steal, all the stock insider trading they can steal. Jeff Gunter doesn't need the money, doesn't need your money. He's set for life. Guy is very successful. A doctor with 21 clinics, he doesn't need your money. Just like Trump. Can't bribe him, can't blackmail him. So I think he's the right choice, Dr. Jeff Gunter in CD3. And I'm pushing hard for him. If you've been getting his texts, which I think every single registered voter in CD3 gets his texts every day. I've done a top 10 reasons, like my top 10 TV show, America's Top 10 Countdown. Top 10 reasons why you should vote for Jeff Gunter. And so talk about repetition every single day, day 10, day 9, day 8, day 7, day 6, day 5, day 4, day 3, day 2, day 1. Tomorrow's day 1. Blast off Wayne Root every day with a new reason to vote for Jeff Gunter, and the early voting already started on Saturday. So right leading into the early voting, my top 10 reasons to vote for Jeff Gunter. Dr. Jeff Gunter. So all my endorsements are at rootforamerica.com. I mean, just this local Vegas radio show alone, there's about 20,000, 25,000 people who listen on a consistent basis just to that show. In the past, we've thought maybe, 60,000, 80,000. But let's just say 25 listen to it every day times 4 or 5. So that's like 80,000, right? But it's the same core 25,000 people listening to this show. I can't answer 25,000 emails. I've already gotten about 1,000. I can't answer 25,000 emails asking who they should support in each race. So I've put it all in one place, including all the judges, and it's all at rootforamerica.com. So go there. If you're driving, write it down. If you can't write it down because you're driving, remember it. Wayne Root's last name, Root. And what do I do all day? I root for America. Rootforamerica.com. And right at the top, it says Wayne's election picks. Click here, and you click on it. It takes you to the page with all my picks. And then at the bottom of that page, it says all the judges. Click here, and then it gives you every judge endorsed by these super PAC or PAC that my wife's a part of, Cindy Parker Root, who interviewed every judge in this town. And it'll tell you who to vote for, who the law and order, good Republican MAGA people. So go to rootforamerica.com, ROOT, foramerica.com for all my endorsements. And one of them is Dr. Jeff Gunter. He's my favorite because he's such a good friend of mine. It's not like anyone in the race is bad. There's several people running. They're all good people. I have nothing bad to say about any of them. Jeff is just the best choice. I know him like nobody in the world knows him, and I'm telling you, he'd be a wonderful MAGA, 100% Trump supporting United States congressman. He's just what Trump needs in the U.S. Congress. He's just what we need. And nothing against the people running against him. They're all good people, but I don't think any of them could win in the general election against a well-funded, multiple-time incumbent, Susie Lee. I believe Jeff Gunter is the only one in position to win in the general election, which is what matters. So vote for Dr. Jeff Gunter / Ambassador Jeff Gunter / CEO Businessman Jeff Gunter / Dr. Jeff Gunter / Skin Cancer Surgeon Jeff Gunter / future United States Congressman Jeff Gunter. He also ran for U.S. Senate a couple of years ago, was beaten in the primary, but did come in second, a strong second. And I think this time he's got a great chance to win it. But go to rootforamerica.com. All right. One of my big things besides, my life's always been about economics and the economy. I'm a businessman. I've always been a businessman at heart. Even when I was a TV anchor and a sportscaster and a sports gambler and the king of Vegas sports gambling, and now a TV and radio political talk show host, conservative talk show host. Doesn't matter. I'm a businessman. Everything me is about dollars and cents, money. Money makes the world go round. Money makes politics go round. Money makes your family go round. You want to give your family a great life, you got to have money. You want to have kids, you got to have money. So money talks. Pitar just said, my director, money talks. And it does. But the second thing besides money would be the border and immigration. That's been my second thing my whole life. And I've been talking about this for 30 years. Democrats opening the border to destroy our country, led by Barack Obama, who learned it at Columbia, Cloward at Piven. And the third thing is vaccines. I've always said they're no good. I've always said they give babies autism. I've always said that the COVID vaccine for the first day is dangerous and deadly. It is not safe. It is not effective. It doesn't work. No one should take it. And I was right about everything, and you all know it. The polls are in, and you know it. Why doesn't President Trump know it? Because they're hiding the results from President Trump. He doesn't even know what his own base stands for because someone in his staff is hiding the results. An unreleased poll appears to undermine the White House's stated rationale for pivoting away from policies that inflame pharmaceutical companies, as in Big Pharma. The Daily Caller News Foundation obtained a secret poll conducted in October 2025 by President Trump's longtime pollster, Tony Fabrizio, finding that 73% of voters expressed concern, 73% expressed concern about childhood vaccine mandates, while a whopping 90% of voters, these are not Republican voters, all voters, 90% expressed concern about the pharmaceutical industry's corrupting influence. Duh, really? The October poll was never released. White House officials and media reports have instead cited a more limited poll conducted a month later, concluding the issue is a political loser to justify the HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy's election year pivot to food policy over vaccine policy. The shift away from vaccines at Kennedy's health department culminated last week in the termination of the lead author of the Trump administration's policy on the childhood vaccination schedule. The secret Fabrizio poll, which has not been previously reported, tells a completely different story. It shows voters' top health concern is the drug lobby's influence on public policy, on medical research, and on news coverage, and that nearly 7 in 10 voters want more research on vaccines' effect on infants. And the Daily Caller News Foundation obtained the poll, but is not publishing it at the request of its source, who does not have permission to release it. Fabrizio's firm did not respond to requests for comment. Look, I tell you the truth. That's why a lot of people like me in Las Vegas. A lot of people like me around the country. And I tell you the truth. To win in politics, you got to take legal bribes. Most of them take illegal bribes. They got fancy houses paid for by bribes and blackmail and all kinds of horrible things in Washington. But you got to take legal bribes. Big Pharma has bribed everybody. Big Pharma is criminal, and they've bribed everyone. And my guess is they've murdered people to cover up the trail of what they've done with the COVID vaccine. I'm sure they've murdered people who speak out loud. I look over my step everywhere I go, right? I'm armed at all times. I got a CCW, and I'm ready to get in a shootout because they want to kill me because I tell the truth. They have murdered and injured and crippled and disabled millions of Americans with their filthy vaccines and their filthy COVID vaccine, which is a deadly failure. Be right back. Another great day from Trump land. The man is dominating politics. I love when people told me, Trump is finished. No one likes him anymore. He doesn't do anything right. He hasn't backed up his campaign promises. That could be why in every primary, whoever he endorses automatically wins. That could be why. By Kip Herridge, my old buddy, and an economic expert CEO of Vertical Research Advisory. His website, VRAinsider.com. As I've explained on this show so many times, VRA has beaten the market in 19 of the last 22 years since Kip founded the VRA in 2003. Over the last 3 years, VRA had an average gain of 37%. Kip, congratulations on your success. I've seen it firsthand for over 22 years. I've read your newsletter for the last 22 plus years. You're my personal financial expert. How do you guys keep beating the markets almost every year when 90% of Wall Street money managers fail to do so?
Well, thanks, Wayne. You know, I worked in that environment for 15 years, worked at Wall Street 15 years, helped take 7 companies public, raised and managed several $100 million. And I know how the groupthink of Wall Street works, and that's not how people make money. 90% of money managers, as you say, don't beat the markets every year. We do. And the reason really is I had great mentors that helped me to create what we call our VRA investing system. It's our proprietary market timing and sector selection system that tells us when to be in the market, when to be out, when to be aggressive, and when to take some profits, take some money to cash. And that helps us with our sector selection. Again, market timing, those are real keys. And we also love doing individual stock research. So that's where you put our clients and subscribers into, again, ETFs, individual stocks, and we also love Bitcoin and gold, as you know, and silver. In 2003, I recommended gold at $350 an ounce, silver at $5. We recommended Bitcoin at $2,000 in 2017, and combined with those three, we're up over 4,000% in gains for our 40 times your money for our subscribers. So we do things a little differently. fifth and sixth generation native Texans, and we love what we do here in Texas.
Well, I'm a witness to all of it. I've been there for all of it. There's a lot of fear out there today, Kip. What should investors know about the stock market right now?
Yeah, you got to be in this market. That's what investors should know. Look, volatility is the price of admission. It just is. It comes with the territory. But these dips give us great buying opportunities. Look, we've been the most bullish market strategists in America for the last 4 years. We call this the innovation revolution meets the Trump economic miracle meets an absolute ocean of liquidity. Those are our big three. Again, Trump's economic miracle this year is really going to start paying its dues. We expect GDP growth to hit 5% this year. We expect the markets to, we think this bull market runs into the 2030s.
All right, everyone gets 2 weeks free automatically by going to VRAinsider.com. 2 weeks free. Judge for yourself. VRAinsider.com. Kip Herridge, thank you.
Thank you, Wayne.
A judge blocks ICE agents from conducting arrests at immigration courts in New York. A federal judge issued a ruling on May 18th barring federal agents from conducting arrests at 3 Manhattan immigration courts. The ruling by U.S. District Judge P. Kevin Castell stemmed from a lawsuit filed by the New York Civil Liberties Union, of course, and other groups on behalf of the DOOR and African Communities Together, which sought to challenge U.S. immigration and customs enforcement policies that allow federal agents to arrest people in immigration courts. Castell had initially declined, this is the judge, Castell had initially declined to block the policy last September, but the plaintiffs later filed a motion in response to a March letter in which the government admitted the 2025 ICE guidance does not and has never applied to civil immigration enforcement actions at immigration courts. All right, Wayne Allyn, I'm the only one from day one who told you the vaccines don't work. Told you the vaccines are going to kill you. And I didn't even mention on the way out all the people that lost their jobs because they had a choice of taking something that might kill you or cripple you and ruin your life or lose your job and your income. And you have kids in college, you got car payments, house payments. I don't blame a single person who chose the vaccine. Not one. My God, did you get a terrible... It's like they forced you to play Russian roulette. One bullet, spin it, see if it blows your brains out or not. This double Russian roulette. Number one bullet blows your brains out. Number two bullet cripples you for life. You're in a wheelchair sitting dribbling on yourself from this freaking vaccine. And the other 4 chambers are empty. And so who knows what's going to happen? Spin it and see what happens. And then there's another gun just for your children. The childhood vaccines are a nightmare. Anyone who gets every vaccine their pediatrician asks for, you are going to kill your kids. You're going to ruin their lives. You're going to dim their brains. The light is going to go out with autism or God knows what kind of immune disorder. You know, John McCain's son died at 66 years old over the weekend. Did you see that? Mm-hmm. John McCain's son dead. Someone needs to ask, did he take the vaccine? I'll bet you $1 billion. Not $1 million, $1 billion. He took the COVID vaccine and boosters, and he's dead at 66. And the list goes on and on and on. I suspect the car racer, right? Kyle Busch, I suspect that the vaccine had something to do with his death. Nobody dies at the age of 41. A world-class athlete in incredible world shape, right? One of the best shapes of any man in the world to drive cars like that in a simulator with the same G's as the force on a racetrack, and they find him with blood coming out of his mouth, half dead, and he dies when they bring him to the hospital. He's dead. Something's wrong. Is it the vaccine? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe he just literally got pneumonia and never took care of it because he's a world-class athlete, and he thought, I don't go to doctors, I'm okay, and it got the best of him, and it went and invaded his brain. Maybe that was it. Or maybe it did all that because of the vaccine. That's what people understand. People go, hey, Wayne, you're wrong. The autopsy's out. He had a stroke. He had a stroke because of the vaccine. The autopsy's out. This other guy died of a heart attack. He had the heart attack because of the vaccine. Hey, Wayne, you're wrong. The other guy got turbo cancer. He got turbo cancer because of the vaccine. All the studies show all this, all the neurological problems. And they also show that everyone who takes the boosters destroys their immune system. So maybe that's why Kyle Busch got pneumonia. Maybe that's why pneumonia killed him when millions of people get pneumonia and they don't die. 41 years old in world-class shape, dies from pneumonia. Okay. He got a cold, it turned into pneumonia, and it killed him. Do you know anybody like that? I don't know anybody. Never met anyone in my life who died of a cold. One guy, Kyle Busch, 41 years old, one of the greatest race car drivers in the world, with a beautiful wife and beautiful children. He's dead. Doesn't make sense unless the vaccine destroyed his immune system. But I don't know if he's vaccinated. He never would say out loud. I don't know if John McCain's son was vaccinated. There was another one who died over the weekend. Same circumstance. I can't even remember. There's so many dying every day, and they're all too young, and it's under mysterious sudden death circumstances, and it's guaranteed to be the vaccine 90% of the time. All right, enough of the vaccine. Let's get on to other topics, because here's what's going to kill us. Here's what's going to destroy our nation, other than the vaccine, other than Big Pharma and their greed. The judges. A panel of leftist federal judges defy the United States Supreme Court and order Alabama to reinstate its rigged and racially gerrymandered congressional map. Remember I said just last week that we probably have won the midterms, even though everything's going wrong, even though Republicans are doing everything wrong, even though the Senate seems to want to lose, even though we're being held hostage by rhinos who want to lose, who are paid off or blackmailed, probably blackmailed. I think they're having sex with gay midgets. That's my opinion. Gay midgets are screwing Republican U.S. senators. Mark it down. Wayne Root's got it right from the beginning. I don't know about midgets. I'm joking. I'm being a wise ass. But they're all involved in sexcapades, and they're being filmed, and then they hold it over their head and make them vote a certain way. Or they're being bribed millions of dollars in offshore accounts. So it's a combination of the leftist judges who are also bribed and owned by the Chinese Communist Party and the Mexican drug cartel, who are also probably being blackmailed. And then the rhino Republicans in South Carolina, the Senate rhinos block the redistricting map that eliminated Clyburn's gerrymandered seat, another all-black seat. South Carolina and Alabama, we should have eliminated both of them. It was a done deal. And between the judges and the rhinos, we don't gain a single seat so far. This is the absolute bribery and blackmail destroying the United States of America. Main title sponsor of the show, Zicha Genesis Medicine. I've been telling you about their medicines to reverse type 2 diabetes, reverse Parkinson's disease, reverse the number one cause of death in the world, heart disease. Go to cure-war.com. Cure-war.com. Participate for free in their studies. Cure-war.com. Here's the good news. Here is some good news out there. First of all, major victory for South Carolina Republicans as redistricting map clears the House. So the South Carolina House of Representatives approved the new congressional map Wednesday, sending the redistricting bill to the state Senate after Democrats attempted to slow the process with hundreds of amendments. The new map, approved by the House, passed the lower chamber with a final vote of 74-36. It would create a 7-0 Republican congressional delegation by drawing out Representative Jim Clyburn, Democrat, from his current district. It's part of a special session called by South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster. President Trump wants to make America the energy capital of the world, make America energy independent again. Here is a project that could help accomplish that, or certainly go a long way to helping accomplish it. I'm so proud to introduce you to a real America hero of the energy industry, Mark Bruner, founder and CEO of Lost Soldier Oil and Gas. Mark is a second-generation oil and gas legend whose companies have created more than $15 billion in shareholder value, including Ultra Petroleum. But Lost Soldier could be bigger than Ultra Petroleum, with what could be the largest gas discovery in the United States in 100 years. It's 40,000 acres. It took them 40 years to piece it together in Wyoming. Mark, welcome. How are you?
I'm great. Good to see you again, Wayne.
Tell us more about Lost Soldier. What have you got?
Well, I think we've got a really big gas field. I mean, in order to understand why it's just being done now, you got to understand the history. There was a uranium mine out here, and whenever there was a meltdown by 3 Mile Island, they started reclamating this mine and shut it down. 3 years ago, I got a call that basically asked me if I would drill it because they finally got the release and the reclamation was over and they had permits to drill it. So we drilled it, and it's the biggest discovery that I've ever made. Okay, it's basically deep overpressured gas. Starting at around 13,000 feet, it's like a layer cake. It's just zone after zone of overpressure is what it is. So we're very excited about it. The other great thing is that it's surrounded by infrastructure, legacy fields that are essentially run out, and billions of dollars of infrastructure is there for us to utilize, and we don't have to build it. We're building a 5 mile line to hook into that infrastructure, and we believe we can produce up to 400 million a day within 36 months to fill that line, and then we're going to build a bigger line. That's the plan, and yeah, we couldn't be more excited.
Very exciting.
What we have.
Hey, Mark, listen, I want to make sure people that contact you, if they're accredited investors and they want to hear more about the project, they want to get involved, they go to lostsoldier.com. Lostsoldier.com. Mark's got a whole team. Every one of them has 40 plus years of experience in the energy and oil business, and they will contact you, call you back, or email you back, and they'll get back to you as soon as they can. Lost Soldier Oil and Gas. You want to get involved? He's the man. We're going to get about 10 new seats, and no one that I know of is talking about this, unless I'm seeing this wrong, which I know I'm not. But no one else is mentioning it. That doesn't mean you added 10 seats. It means you add 20 seats, because you're taking 10 away from the Democrats, and you're electing 10 new Republicans in districts that were 10 Democrats. That's a plus 20. So Republicans have I believe it's a 6-vote lead right now, very slim 6-vote lead, which means 3 seats in the United States House. But if you add 20 to 6, my math says 26-seat lead. Democrats aren't going to win 27 seats. As a matter of fact, I think in the whole United States, there are only something like 30 seats that could actually possibly be flipped from Republican to Democrat or Democrat to Republican. And it's not all one way, it's both parties. There's almost no seats flippable in the United States House. All right, Vegas Strip, my beloved Las Vegas. I love it. Let me mention the sponsor of this show. It is Bond Arms. President Trump is marking the 250th anniversary of America by turning into the greatest national celebration in history. Now we have a gun worthy of President Trump's 250th anniversary celebration. Introducing the Bond Arms America 250. Show it up on the screen, guys. The Bond Arms America 250 edition handgun, American-made, precision-crafted, built like a tank, performs like a hand cannon, takes shotgun shells. It's amazing. And the artistic work on it, it is a work of art, and it's something you want to leave your children and hand down to your family. Bond Arms builds the smallest, most powerful personal protection handgun you can carry, designed to honor America's past, built to last for generations, and a work of art. Amazing. And it takes shotgun shells. Can you imagine a gun that small? Shotgun shells, only $499. $100 off for my friends. It is the 250th anniversary hand cannon. Go to getbondarms.com. Getbondarms.com. When you go there, you'll find they make literally dozens of guns, all the most artistic, beautiful guns you've ever seen. And all of them for very reasonable prices, including quite a few for under $300. Plus, they're giving away rebates right now. So you take that off the price of $499, $399, and $299 for these amazing small guns with artistic work on them. All right, getbondarms.com. Josh Manning is with us, editor-at-large at Western Journal. The web address is westernjournal.com. westernjournal.com. I see we got him. There he is. Josh Manning in his gun cave. Hey, Josh, what's going on?
Wayne, not too much. I'm doing great. Got a post-Memorial Day high from watching the Democrats absolutely embarrass and humiliate themselves all day long. Trump's presentations were great. I think I'm liking where we are. It was a wonderful day honoring those who gave their lives for the country.
Yeah, listen, I don't mean to throw water on your beautiful thing you just said, but I don't like where we are. I wish we were at a point where we knew we were going to win the midterms. We don't know that. I think President Trump should declare a national security emergency with elections, which I've laid out in all my shows in detail and all my columns in detail. And my understanding is he read it, his staff read it, his lawyers read it, and they think he's going to actually do it sometime closer to the election. So if he does that, then I think we might be in good shape. If we listen to the Supreme Court and won 10 new seats, we could have been 15 or 20, but a lot of Republican governors are rhinos and they want to lose. They're paid to lose. Yeah. So I thought we'd only get 10. Now we're not even going to get 10. Judge threw out the Alabama one today. I don't know if that'll stick or not. I hope not.
Ooh, I hadn't seen that.
How can you throw out the Supreme Court? And once the Supreme Court rules, isn't that the law of the land? They went against the Supreme Court. And then in South Carolina, Rhino state senators prevented another one to get rid of Clyburn's seat. So instead of 10 seats, now we might have 8 or less. So this is mutiny, what this is. We should just overthrow these people. I don't care what we have to do. Let 1 million Republicans show up at the South Carolina Republican office screaming bloody murder, screaming that we're gonna throw you out on your ass if you don't resign. I don't care what they have to do. We got to get rid of these people, Josh, because they're destroying our party.
What if we did just what Democrats have done through all of this? How would the media treat it if we started burning down cities? How would the media treat it if we took over state houses? How would they treat that? Of course, they would condemn us while they've said virtually nothing when Democrats have done these things. We remember the mostly peaceful protests with the fires burning in the background, and we've just come up on the George Floyd anniversary too. By the way,
yes.
So
that patriot, George Floyd, that great example of America, filled with fentanyl, in jail most of his life. Tried to literally murder a pregnant woman, threatened to murder a pregnant woman so he could rob her. A piece of human garbage who's been honored by the left and by Black America and BLM and statues and millions of dollars given to his relatives. I mean, it's beyond belief.
Well, Jacob Frey, the mayor of Minneapolis, he posted about George 3 times yesterday. He only posted once about Memorial Day. And I don't know about you, Wayne, but I feel like the U.S. armed forces and all of the servicemen who've given their lives over the years, I feel like they've done at least a little bit more for the country than George Floyd did. Yeah. And granted, if he had lived longer, I mean, Maybe he invents the fusion reactor. Maybe he cures cancer. But Wayne, you're a betting man. I wouldn't have bet on this guy. And the guy became a folk hero, a cause celeb for the left. BLM existed before George, but that crystallized it. And I think, again, we need to give credit where credit's due. BLM did an amazing job of enriching about 3 black women. They were able to afford mansions that they never could have had before. So
Beautiful
BLM
cars. I think
really
they got Ferraris
helped.
and Bentleys.
Yes. They finally got the reparations they deserved. Now, all of the other black people who contributed, they got the shaft. All of the stupid American corporations who were held hostage and who Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton said, look, if you don't give to this thing, we're going to let everybody know that you're racist. And, hey, we'll tell our buddies at the SPLC to add you to their list of hate mongers. And he was turned into a folk hero, and then they spent all of this money on themselves. It is the typical leftist grift. It's what we saw with all of the NGOs and what we're seeing now. They raise this money for generally, supposedly good causes, and then they pay themselves 75% of the money that was raised. And then 20% goes to overhead, and then 5% maybe gets to the people who are supposed to be helped. And Wayne, I defy anybody to show me a single black person who is better for having BLM.
Right, who benefited.
Not
It was
one.
funny. It was funny.
I can't tell it.
You at one point said, you started a sentence with "man, I feel like," and I don't remember what you were referring to, but I feel like is it Shania Twain or Shania Twain?
Shania.
Man, I feel like a woman. That's what the whole Republican Party rhinos are about. The Democrats, at least, give them credit. They fight. They're vicious. They're thieves. They don't even blink. They have no shame. They steal from you and look you in the eye and demand re-election, and they get it. And our side are such just pussy cats. I can't say the real word on TV or I get thrown off, or radio too, I get thrown off. But they're pussy cats, and they make me embarrassed and sick and ashamed. What is that?
I had a great quote. It's not on my desk anymore. I'm trying to clean my office. I had a great quote that was dealing with this exact thing, and it was essentially that, look, Republicans can decide that they are ultra principled and forsake the country, but at least they'll have their incredible principles and that they played by the Marquess of Queensberry rules to keep them warm as the ship goes down. Or we can say, look, we are in a state of war. What does that mean? When you declare war on somebody, what you're doing is you're saying, hey, look, the normal rules, the way we normally do things, we're not doing those right now. Those are suspended.
Right.
And the reason we're suspending them is so that we can protect ourselves, we can protect our country, so that we can keep the country going. We are in a state of war right now with the left, at least we should be. We are suspending the rules we normally play by so that we can keep playing by those rules in the future. Because if we don't declare war, if we don't throw everything we've got at this, the game that is America, the American project, will not be able to continue. And Republicans, I think they use principle as an excuse for weakness, and they want to be invited to D.C. Dinner parties and cocktails, and they want to distance themselves from J6ers, and they want to talk about how, oh, yes, COVID was, it really was a wet market. We didn't have anything to do with that. Fauci saved the country. They want to do those things because they want to be accepted by the Democrat elites. And Wayne, the secret that you and I both know is no matter what, they'll never be accepted by those people. They will never be accepted.
So the real
by those
debate is, are they frauds? Are they bribed? Are they blackmailed? Or are some of them nice people that mean well? And I would argue that most of them are bribed and blackmailed. I'm the first one in the country who's been saying that for years, who dares to say that these people are all bribed and blackmailed. They're having sex with someone they shouldn't be having sex with, probably of the same sex, and they're being filmed, and they hold it over them, and they vote the way they need them on certain bills. But some of them are nice. And what I mean by that is, I'm going to use my parents as an example. My mom and dad were Jewish. when you think of Jews, you don't think of fighters. So when they sent me to an all-black high school, they thought if something ever happened to me, if I'm being bullied, if I'm being beaten up, if I'm being intimidated, then you call your mommy and tell her and she'll go to the principal. And I realized very quickly that if I did that, I'm a rat fink and I'm going to get beat up even more and I'm going to be completely isolated and the other kids will laugh at me because I got my mommy involved. So instead, I spent the entire summer learning how to fight and lifting weights and learning how to street fight from 2 rough Italian friends, came back and beat the living crap out of 3 people till they were screaming for their mother and crying uncle, and one of them was searching the ground for his teeth. Another one missed school for a month because I kicked his stomach so badly he had diarrhea, right? And no one ever messed with me again the rest of my high school and the rest of my life. That's the answer. It's not calling your mother. It's not being a sissy. It's not a man becoming a woman. The answer is to fight. And if they don't get it, we're going to lose this country. Be right back. More with Josh Manning. Be right back. All right, one of my favorite guests ever, Allyn Pariser's with us, an advocate for GreatPatriotStore.com. He's been a customer for 36 years, almost 4 decades. My wife and I, Cindy, do much of our monthly shopping now at GreatPatriotStore.com. It's an alternative to wokeness. It's run by pro-American conservatives. USA Today voted it one of the best stores in America in 2025. And with all these communists taking over, Allyn Pariser, New York, Seattle, Chicago, promising cheap government groceries or free, you need to buy American. Tell us why.
Absolutely. You know, a lot of our competitors have completely lost it. They've gone totally woke over the years, but our founding axiom is really very simple. For 41 years, we've been focused on manufacturing exceptional products at reasonable prices, made by Americans, here in America, for Americans. And we've expanded. We have manufacturing plants across the United States, distribution plants across the United States. And not only can Americans get the best quality, the best price from Great Patriot Store, in most cases, we can deliver to your front door even faster than Amazon.
So prices are high everywhere. Procter & Gamble and Amazon are considering price increases. How do the prices at Great Patriot Store compare to national brands?
Well, we've got hundreds of products, Wayne, but if you just take a look at one like our laundry detergent, we make it, it's patented, and it's literally almost fractions, almost half the price of our competitors, and you get 96 loads of wash. It's the best value. There's no toxic chemicals in any of our products whatsoever. And if you're looking to lose some of those holiday pounds, you don't need the shots with the LPG-1 drugs. We have something called berberine. Nature's Ozempic is what people are calling it. It's legit, it works, and we've got it at a better price than any of our competitors.
All right, we've got just seconds to go, so be quick. I love your beef. I eat your sirloin and your New York steak all the time. It's kind of breakfast and lunch for me all the time. Why is your beef superior?
Made in America, never, ever any hormones, ever any antibiotics, no mRNA. It's all prime. It's the best quality that you can find at the best price, free shipping, and it's the best beef on the planet.
All right, to get your free gift, that's right, a free gift, purchase the beef and other great American products. You got to be a member. Go to GreatPatriotStore.com, fill out the form. One of their conservative team members will contact you right away. GreatPatriotStore.com. Happy New Year. Thank you, Allyn.
Thank you, Wayne. God bless.
Hi, I'm Wayne Allyn Root, CEO, conservative TV and radio host, and best-selling author. I believe in America and American exceptionalism. America is now focused on energy independence. Enter Lost Soldier Oil and Gas. It took 40 years to piece together this 40,000-acre giant gas discovery. The first 4,000 feet drilled so far are estimated to contain up to 6 trillion cubic feet of gas, making it one of the largest natural gas discoveries in the Rocky Mountain region in the last 30 years. This is how we power the AI future of America with clean natural gas. Headed by oil and gas legend Mark Bruner, whose previous public companies, Pinnacle Energy and Ultra Petroleum, delivered spectacular returns for investors. At its peak, a $10,000 investment in Ultra Petroleum turned into over $13 million. To learn more about this Lost Soldier oil and gas opportunity, go to lostsoldier.com. Fill out the contact form. That's lostsoldier.com. All right, wait on the root's on fire. Welcome back to the show. It's Warzone Live, and we always, we now throw in that live. It used to just be Warzone. We throw it in because, people have to know the show is live. It's as it's happening right now. I'm here. This is not Memorex. It's Wayne on the Root. Today is, how hostages do it. Let me give you a proof of life. It's Tuesday, May 26th at 3:52 Vegas time, 5:52. That means on the East Coast. And I'm with you every day from 6 to 8 p.m. right here on Warzone Live. Just go to thegatewaypundit.com. We're the official podcast of The Gateway Pundit. 2.5 million unique daily readers. Number 5 ranked conservative website in the country, conservative news site in the country, and over a billion page views a year. Quite impressive. And we're proud to be the official podcast of The Gateway Pundit. Here every day at the top of the page, as soon as you get to thegatewaypundit.com. Between 3 and 5 West Coast time, between 6 and 8 East Coast time every night. Sponsor of this segment, VRA, Vertical Research Advisory. After 15 years on Wall Street at the highest levels in 2003. Can you imagine 2003 does not seem like it's that long ago. It's a lifetime ago. It's 23 years ago. It's actually soon going to be 24 years ago. Kip Herridge founded VRA, his global investment and economic newsletter. How strange it must have seemed back then. After all the years he spent on Wall Street to suddenly open a newsletter and maybe nobody responds. And then here it is 23 years later. He has beaten the market with his top picks 86% of the time, 19 out of 22 years, almost 90%. Barron's reports the average Wall Street money manager loses the market 90% of the time. In the last 3 years, his picks, they're called 10 baggers. And that's all he picks, by the way. He doesn't give you 20 picks, and he says one of them is important. No, everything he gives you is a 10-bagger. That's all he gives is top recommendations. I think there's 15 of them or maybe 20 of them, and they're all in my portfolio. And it was up an average of 38% each year the last 3 years. I mean, it's the most incredible thing. That's 100% over 3 years. You've doubled your money. And so it's really amazing. So let Kip prove to you how good he is for free, 2 weeks free. At VRAinsider.com. Only my fans know about this address, VRAinsider.com. Everybody gets 2 weeks free. So what do you got to lose? What do you got to risk? Nothing. Go to VRAinsider.com. We're back with Josh Manning. Hey, Josh, the cover of the Daily Mail, as in UK Daily Mail, which is now the American Daily Mail, which is now one of the most popular sites in the world, is horror implosion. Toxic horror as multiple people are killed and missing in major chemical vat implosion. And I think that one is in the state of Washington. Yes, state of Washington. Between that one, the one in Southern California in Orange County, and I know there was another chemical plant that just blew up, another oil facility that blew up. Don't you think this might be purposeful? Something's going on here. Right at the moment where there's problems with energy around the world, things are blowing up or threatening to blow up all around the United States. Seems rather coincidental to me.
Well, to some extent, it feels like we're back in was it 2020, 2021, when we began seeing issues on multiple farms, multiple food factories.
I think later. I think that was 22, 23. It was a little bit later.
It might have been.
It was beyond the pandemic.
It might have been food. Boy, that sounds dystopian, doesn't it? Food factories, food processing facilities, that kind of stuff. There was an enormous issue with baby formula at one point, and these things all happened like just right in a line. This does feel like that a little bit. And there are definitely coincidences in life, but, remember the Einstein quote, if, God doesn't play dice with the universe. And then one of my favorite quotes is actually from the X-Files, which was 30 years ago. If coincidences are just coincidences, why do they feel so contrived? And that's a question to ask with this. And Wayne, I'm not super conspiratorial minded, but what you said was the very first thought I had when I saw the Washington story earlier today. It's like, gosh, this sounds remarkably similar. And, you know, we've seen things like this happen with trains in the past, too, if I remember correctly. These things happen in spurts. So I don't know. It could be a coincidence. I don't know if it's a distraction campaign or something else. But it's alarming. The scary thing is the American people aren't willing to trust that the government has this in hand. The American people are thinking, well, I wonder if the government was behind this. That's a huge problem.
Yeah, and it's no reason why you wouldn't think that. I don't think the government's behind it. I think that the deep state or wild environmental radicals are behind it. I think people who want to see Democrats/communists run our country and want us to be in environmental hell and environmental lockdowns are behind these things. When you see plants and ranches and facilities that produce food and energy shut down, blown up, things go wrong, you just think that somebody's purposely doing it. So just a quick thought. Quickly, before we go, the DNC finally released their election autopsy about 2024. And as usual, they came to all the wrong conclusions. Got about a minute. Go.
Yeah, I love this. Nowhere did they mention Biden's age. They didn't talk about Harris picking the ultimate girly man, Tim Walz. They didn't talk about how the Dems have turned against Israel. They didn't talk about the Hamas attack. What they concluded was that, our internal polling wasn't that great. And I don't know.
And they didn't get started quick enough helping Kamala. Biden didn't
we didn't get started quick enough. But the one I absolutely love is
they're giving me a 10
we
count.
didn't articulate Trump's negatives.
There we go. And they didn't mention how dumb Kamala is. She's dumb as a doorknob. We got to go. Josh Manning, WesternJournal.com. We'll be right back. Hour 2.
What would you say if we told you you could reverse most any ailment or symptom
without painful exercises in just 88 days? We have created the only patent-pending intercellular hydration protocol.
Don't miss your opportunity to feel better. We know there's a lot of false hope out there, and many people have bought programs that work for a moment, but life's a lot longer than a moment.
We have been helping people gain intercellular hydration for nearly 3 decades.
You will lose fat, not weight, fat, fast, including that killer visceral fat. Chronic dehydration is one of the root causes of many ailments and symptoms. Ask your doctor about Energized Health. Don't miss your opportunity to transform your health now.
So log on to EnergizedHealth.com. That's EnergizedHealth.com.
Possible side effects may include increased joy, energy, potential reduction in prescriptions, more fulfilling relationships, fewer doctor visits, and overall improved quality of health and life.
Coming to you from Las Vegas. This is known as Warzone Live, Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 p.m. East Coast time. Great to be with you. All kinds of things happening. This is the mainstream media, not the mainstream media, and I am the biggest MAGA mouth in the world. We got a great guest. Dinesh D'Souza is with us. Dinesh, we appreciate you.
It's a pleasure. Thank you, Wayne.
Buckle up your seatbelts. Let's go to war. I'm an SOB, son of a butcher, and America has been great to me. Only in America could these things happen. People like my grandfather wouldn't make it where he came from, and my father wouldn't make it in any other country. Well, that's a no-brainer, right? We're the greatest nation in the history of civilization. No one else has ever come close.
Good to see you again, Wayne.
Thank you. I'm delighted to be back with you, my friend.
Doing great, Wayne. Good to be here.
The Root's on fire. Welcome to my show, Warzone Live. Monday through Friday, official podcast, The Gateway Pundit, from 6 to 8 p.m. East Coast time, 3 to 5 p.m. West Coast time every day. This is the Wayne Stream Media. No more mainstream media allowed in. Only Wayne Stream Media, meaning raw truth and in-your-face mother trucker information. As many of you know, I'm an idea man. I don't just criticize like 99% of TV and radio hosts. I contribute with doable solutions. The American people don't like it. I know. I speak to them. The people who believe in themselves and believe in this country and have a passion and a love for this country. And this country responds in kind by giving the most incredible mobility and opportunity in the world. And that's because of low taxes and very light regulation. Those are the two things in life that matter to me, taxes and regulation. If you don't have a lot of laws, a lot of woke laws, and a lot of communist, Marxist, socialist, leftist laws, and you don't have high taxes, then anybody who's smart can get ahead and achieve whatever they want in life.
Warning! The Root's on fire! You're about to experience the most high-octane, pedal-to-the-metal controversial show of your life. Please buckle up and hold on tightly. This station is not responsible for injuries. This is Wayne Allyn Root, raw and unfiltered, with America's favorite conservative rock star, direct from the entertainment capital of the world, Las Vegas. What time is it? It's time for war! Here's your host, 100% raw truth, 100% American made, the warrior, Wayne Allyn Root.
All right, Wayne on the root, the root's on fire. Welcome to Warzone Live. Great to be with you. Hour number 2. The minute this is over, I'm racing out of here to go to the Knights game, the Las Vegas Golden Knights hockey team, NHL hockey team. For those of you who do not follow hockey and do not have the joy of knowing the Knights, you live in a town that's very far away. You don't follow the Knights. They're the best hockey team in the history of best sports team in the history of sports expansion. They were a brand new team 9 years ago, and if they win tonight, they'll sweep Colorado, the best team in the NHL, 4-0, and they'll be in the Stanley Cup Finals for the third time in 9 years as a expansion team. In their first year of existence, they made the Stanley Cup but lost. Then they won it 3 years ago, and now they're going to be in it again. The odds are like 98% when you're ahead 3-0, you're going to win. They could win it tonight and sweep, and I'll be at the game tonight, so I'll be racing out of here. People say, Wayne, we thought you care about America. I do. But can you imagine if Wayne had no fun at all in life? I mean, I'm going to go to an occasional game. I'm going to go to an occasional rock concert or country concert. I go to dinner every night. I do some nice things with my wife and with my kids, and I play with my dog all the time. I walk my dog every day, 45 minutes a day, and I play ball with him all the time. I try and squeeze all of that in a 24-hour day, and something's got to give, right? There just isn't enough time with all the work I put in, so the one thing that gives is sleep. I sleep about 4 or 5 hours a night. That's it. If I slept 6, 7 hours, I'd never get any fun in. So I got to jam my fun in where I can jam it in tonight at the Knights game. All right, and a quick happy birthday to my wife. It's her birthday today. I got her a beautiful present, so I'm forgiven for going to the hockey game tonight without her. She didn't want to go. She doesn't like hockey, so I took her out to her birthday dinner last night, and I'll do it again tomorrow night. And in between, I'm going to the hockey game, and I already gave her a beautiful gift, and we had a wonderful day together today, so all is good. But happy birthday to my lovely wife, Cindy. She is gorgeous, and she just keeps getting prettier and younger every year. It's amazing, and I'm not saying that. Everybody says it. Everyone. We went to dinner the other night with 10 friends, and every one of them, gasped when they heard her real age. They gasped. They said, what? That's impossible. Impossible. She's just the most beautiful woman in the entire world for her age. She is just amazing. Amazing for any woman in America 50 or over, let's put it that way. And she's well over 50, so people just can't even believe it. Prettiest woman in every restaurant we walk in, and the best dressed in every restaurant we walk in. And another birthday, another year younger. Cindy Parker Root, God bless you. We love you. I'm going to get to 3 stories that I mentioned in hour 1 if you weren't with us, and then I'm going to go right to all the other stories. First of all, I mentioned that Trump's pollster, his favorite pollster is this guy Fabrizio, Tony Fabrizio. And he polled voters and found out that basically 73% expressed concern about childhood vaccine mandates, and 90% expressed concern about the pharmaceutical industry's corrupting influence, and nobody ever released the poll or told Trump about it. Why? Because of all the money that Big Pharma showers the politicians with, the Senate Republicans, the Congress, House Republicans, and President Trump and his PACs and his library. They're giving millions and millions and millions of dollars away, so nobody wants to break up the boys' club. So it's not that Trump is pro-vaccine, it's that he doesn't know that everybody is so anti-vaccine in his own MAGA base and in the country in general, because they're hiding it from him. People on his staff are hiding it from him. The vaccines are deadly. The vaccines are crippling. They're disabling. They're terrible. They're awful. I have every study on earth to show you. Some incredible studies from Japan and South Korea, where they literally studied 20 million people between those two countries and found out anyone who's unvaccinated is fine. Anybody who's vaccinated, the death rate is so incredible. The cancer rate is so incredible. The heart attack rate is so incredible. The stroke rate is so incredible. The amount of young people sick, vaccinated, incredible. Young people unvaccinated, no sickness. It's truly amazing. The difference between vaccine and no vaccine, and nobody wants to talk about it. And then, of course, all the little babies that are getting vaccinated and just their brain is overwhelmed, their immune system is overwhelmed, and they wind up with autism and other illnesses for the rest of their lives. And I feel so bad for them. And everybody knows it. The whole country's woken up to Big Pharma as a scam, bunch of scammers and a bunch of murderers. And there's good drugs, too. I admit that. There are good drugs, but for the most part, their whole job is to sell drugs, whether they work or not, whether they kill you or not, whether they help you or not, and to convince the government to buy them, whether they're good or not. and to spend money on TV ads so you buy them and convince your doctor to give them to you. We're the only country in the world besides New Zealand that allows ads on TV for drugs. Only country in the world. And New Zealand, you know, for those of you who care about New Zealand, I'm sorry, but New Zealand is not really a country. It's an island of pipsqueaks. So I don't care about New Zealand. So of all the major countries in the world, we're the only one that allows pharmaceutical companies to advertise on TV. And it's just ruining this country. Everyone's on drugs. The drugs are no good. I'm not talking about everyone's on fentanyl. Everyone's on cocaine. Everyone's on heroin. Forget that. I'm talking about everyone is on pharmaceutical drugs and they're poison. And that's why people are dying so early in this country. But especially the COVID vaccine. And President Trump doesn't get it because they're not even letting him see the polls that his own people, and that wasn't a MAGA poll. That was the whole country. Everyone's against this crap. And then the other big issues are the panel of leftist federal judges defying the Supreme Court and ordering Alabama to reinstate its rigged, racially gerrymandered congressional map. You know, just they create a district just for black people that's guaranteed to be Democrat. And if Republicans take over, we win the House because there's 20 of those. And South Carolina Senate rhinos block redistricting map. There, the Supreme Court or a local court didn't matter. You know, they didn't need the South Carolina Supreme Court. They didn't need a panel of leftist federal judges. We did it to ourselves. And I got to tell you, South Carolina, if you're not rebelling, if this isn't a cause for a revolution, if you don't show up like by the hundreds of thousands at Republican headquarters or at the state capitol, waving American flags and MAGA flags and don't tread on me flags, and threatening, and I don't mean to kill because we don't do that. We don't. Only Democrats do that. But threatening to throw them all out on their asses and recall everybody and throw them out. They're not wanted anymore. These people had voted against the South Carolina Senate redistricting map that eliminates Clyburn's gerrymandered seat. If you can't get behind that, you are either bribed or blackmailed. You're a man screwing men. You're a man screwing little boys. You're a woman who's a lesbian and you're getting in orgies and they've got you on camera. I know it. I know what's going on. You're bribed or blackmailed. You filthy rhino scum in South Carolina. The same problem in several Republican states, but they just blocked us gaining another seat. These people are criminals. And look what they're protecting, because when Democrats get in, we're all ruined. California billionaire Tom Steyer, who's running for governor, defends transgender athletes in high school sports. He branded dissidents for perpetuating a right-wing attempt to smear transgenders. Every time you elect a Democrat, you're ruining our country. Hochul, governor of New York, Kathy Hochul, set to turn New York into full sanctuary state for illegal alien criminals. It's truly amazing. She's preparing to sign a bill that would officially make New York a so-called sanctuary state protecting illegal aliens from deportation. This is what you're voting for when a rhino holds up redistricting. U.S. Attorney Bill Essiello exposes shocking leftist plot to give illegal aliens taxpayer-funded houses to replace the fleeing citizens. It's a former California assemblyman and current top federal prosecutor, Bill Essiello, ripped the mask off Sacramento's radical open borders agenda. So what he's saying is, let's see, people are running for California. I know that. And when they run from California, they want to import more illegals. And here it is. He was referencing California Assembly Bill 1840, legislation passed by the Democrat-controlled legislature in 2024 that would have expanded eligibility for the California Dream for All Shared Appreciation Loan Program to undocumented immigrants. And it offers qualifying first-time homebuyers shared appreciation assistance for down payments and closing costs. And they're working on passing it right now. And they're moving. Americans are all leaving California, and they want to replace them with illegal aliens called the Great Replacement. We all know what's going on. And they want to give them houses for free. They want to give them down payments. They want to cover their closing costs. Does anyone give me a down payment? Anyone cover my closing costs? No. New Jersey governor, Democrat senators spend Memorial Day, instead of in parades honoring military vets who died, They spend Memorial Day protesting an ICE facility in Newark, New Jersey. They want it closed because the detainees allege poor conditions. Oh, poor babies. Poor baby. Spencer Pratt, running for mayor in LA, fires back at Drew Carey with an Epstein jab. Drew Carey says, oh, you can't vote for this guy. Why would you vote for a reality TV show star? You want real establishment politicians with experience, really. And Pratt wrote, isn't it weird how the two comedians lashing out against me are both in the Epstein files? What are the odds? All the people against us are bribed or blackmailed. Drew Carey, you're one of them. It's obvious. Just my opinion. We'll be right back. One chilling case involved a 22-year-old Chilean national, Kevin Diaz, charged with 18 felonies after smashing through the back door of a Rexford Drive home while a family of 4 was present. The homeowner barricaded himself in a bathroom and called for help as Diaz fled with stolen goods. Investigators linked him to at least 17 other burglaries. A female victim, home alone with her children during one intrusion, described the raw fear. When someone breaks into your home, you don't know what they want. It's terrifying. You are afraid for your life and safety. All right, so I've been telling you about Zicha Genesis Medicine, and it's medicines to reverse type 2 diabetes, Parkinson's disease, and the number one cause of death in the world, small vessel heart disease. That form of heart disease is responsible for about 1/3 of the deaths in the world, and therefore 1/3 of everyone watching. Joining us now is the CEO of Zicha Genesis Medicine, Dan Montano. Dan, your company's making some great medical advancements. Update on what you're doing in regard to brain disorders like Parkinson's disease.
First, Wayne, thank you for your support of yours and your people. It's been fantastic. Neurodegenerative diseases like Parkinson's disease, we believe, are vascular disruption in the brain. A stroke, dementia, Alzheimer's are all the same. But let me show you a Parkinson's patient, because a video is worth 1,000 words. This is Matt Davis. You see the date, May 23. He's being asked to lift his right foot. You can see that he can't lift it because his Parkinson's is so bad. He is in a wheelchair. He cannot walk. That is May 2023. We then dosed him, and here he is, April of 25, walking by himself down the driveway. He is unassisted, walking for the first time in 4 or 5 years. Wow. But it gets better, Wayne, because after 6 more months of dosing, he's playing catch, ball back and forth. This is a person who is improving from Parkinson's, recovering, not declining like everybody else you've ever heard of. We have 250 people like him.
Dan, that is amazing. Tell my fans about Zicha's investment opportunity.
It's very simple. People invest in funding a clinical study like the one on Parkinson's. We pay them 10 times their investment over from a royalty of 50%. If they're not happy at 48 months, I pay them double their money. And this allows us to pull forward a lot of the research we've done, like chronic wounds, Parkinson's, etc.
It sounds too good to be true. How do you justify that?
Very simple. Take the type 2 diabetes. The investors put up $5 million for the study. We pay them $50 million. The marketplace applications are probably $100 billion for us over the next 7 years. Who wouldn't pay $50 million to get $100 billion?
Unbelievable. That's an amazing story. If you're interested in learning more about this investment opportunity, go to cure-war.com, cure-war.com. Wouldn't it be great to make money and help cure disease at the same time? That's cure-war.com. Thank you, Dan. God bless you.
Bless you. Bye-bye.
And you know, this is 2 things. Well, 3 things. Number one, open borders. This happens because of open borders. Number two, it happens because of liberal judges and liberal prosecutors backed by Soros that let everybody out without bail. So nobody feels like they're going to be in trouble if they rob a house. And then you have California legislators who passed some sort of bill. Again, I don't live there anymore. I've lived there in 24 years. My understanding is they passed a bill that makes robbing a home just a misdemeanor. It's not a felony. And from that point on, the home robberies exploded. Then you tell me I'm ready to go. All right. Patar's like, are you on the phone again? Yeah, the minute you tell me we're on, I'm ready to go. I got to get in my text. I got to get them in. There's no choice. It backs up, man. It's like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. Nobody has any idea what it's like to get hundreds of texts and hundreds of emails, and every one of them is important. And if you miss one bill, your credit goes to hell. You got to make sure you're on top of everything. Everything. All right. Terrified Seattle. Wayne Allyn, by the way, Warzone Live. RootForAmerica.com. WayneRoot@gmail.com. I repeat, my command central, RootForAmerica.com. Email me anytime, WayneRoot@gmail.com. This is Warzone Live, the official podcast of the Gateway Pundit. This is the Mainstream media, not the mainstream media, so honest truth. Don't care who I offend as long as I tell the truth. And terrified Seattle neighborhood builds massive barricade across their streets amid horrific crime wave. So residents in a troubled Seattle neighborhood have begun erecting a large homemade barricade across the residential streets after a surge of gun violence left many fearing for their safety and their family's safety. They're taking matters to their own hands by physically blocking off nearby roads in an effort to keep traffic and suspected criminal activity out of the area. Can you believe this is America? Can you even believe this is America? That people are building their own barricades without any permission from the city to block their street off because there's so much crime and so many people looking to kill them in gun battles with drug dealers and robbers and murderers and rapists. This is every single city run by Democrats. It's like out of the movie Zombie Apocalypse. If you go downtown Philadelphia, they're walking like zombies. They've got needle marks and they've got skin oozing and holes in their body. They're rotting from the inside out. This is our country now. It's not our country in nice Republican areas. Am I allowed to say that? Is that racist? In white Republican towns and cities and counties? Kind of nice. And then you go into any minority big city, everybody's murdering people, raping people. Now, just to show you, I'm no racist. A lot of those people that are being murdered and raped, almost all of them, are black or Latino or minority. So they're being killed and they're the killers. In other words, when you talk about law and order, the number one group it affects are minorities. They're in the worst neighborhoods. They're the ones who want police, who don't want to defund police, who want more police, and who want police to help them and patrol the streets and keep them safe. They never want to defund the police. And whoever helped them, you know who the racists are? Black Lives Matter's racist. They never helped a single black person being killed in a single street of a big city in America. All they cared about is if a black person is shot by one white cop. That's it. That they could literally riot and destroy the country in return for getting rich. Pressuring corporations to give them money, extorting money. They never cared about a black killing a black, never mattered to them. But inner cities are rotting like nothing you've ever seen. I was thinking about this the other day. I live in Summerlin, this beautiful area of Las Vegas. 125,000 residents, 300 parks, including 32 major parks. Almost everybody's got a beautiful house. Everyone's got a swimming pool. It's beautiful. And there isn't one piece of garbage on the street, not one. Now drive into a bad neighborhood in Las Vegas. You know what the definition of bad is? A minority neighborhood, black and brown and poor. And there's garbage everywhere. Garbage in the street, garbage on the lawns. Here, everything's perfectly well kept. Everything's clean. Everything's nice. I feel bad for those people in minority districts. I feel bad for the minorities in minority districts because no one cares about you. No one gives a crap. You have been abandoned. Who abandoned you? Democrats. The people you elected. You elect them by a 90% margin, then they abandon you. What have they ever done for you? Nothing. Nothing. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz skips Memorial Day Veterans Ceremony to dance at George Floyd Square on the anniversary of his death. Veterans call it a slap in the face. Same thing the mayor of Minneapolis did, basically. On Memorial Day, all they cared about was George Floyd, not the veterans. Army veteran dies months after DoorDash driver sucker punched him over a speeding complaint. This guy, Lloyd Poole, 75 years old, underwent 7 brain surgeries after the December incident, and now he died. An Army veteran who died because a guy was speeding, and he confronted him, and he sucker punched him, and he needed 7 brain surgeries, and he died. And I bring that up because also what happened over the weekend was a guy, I don't even know what city it's in. There's a guy who has what they call the Trump house. He had like hundreds of Trump stickers on his windows, on his roof, on his lawn, and somebody killed him, murdered him over the weekend. That's no coincidence. Murdered for being a Trump fan. Murdered. All right, another great guest coming up. We get back. Hour number 2. Guest number 2 coming up next. Wayne Root, be right back. A sex therapist, Democrat candidate for Congress in Texas, Maureen Galindo, she's called for transforming immigration ICE facilities into camps for American Zionists, including a castration center. And she wants to also throw ICE agents in there as well. Galindo's campaign, her name's Maureen Galindo, made a vile pledge. She will introduce legislation to the effect if she gets elected to Congress. She'll write legislation so that all Zionism and support of Zionism is undoubtedly anti-Semitic since it's Zionism harming the Semites, her campaign wrote on Instagram last week. These are very confusing people. No one knows what the hell they're talking about. She'll turn the Carnes ICE Detention Center into a prison for American Zionists and former ICE officers for human trafficking. It'll also be a castration processing center for pedophiles, which will probably be most of the Zionists. This is what she puts in her campaign literature. Wayne Allyn, I am joined by Gordon Bond. What an honor. Owner of Bond Arms, one of the great gun manufacturers, all made in the USA, all made in Texas. His website is getbondarms.com. Gordon, what makes Bond Arms different from any other gun manufacturer?
Well, we when my brother started the company a long time ago, the regular Derringer, let me see if I can get it in the picture here, was basically known as a cheap, dangerous throwaway gun. This is a 1865 model. Derringers have been around forever. And what he did was take a dangerous gun and just made it very cool by better materials, trigger guard, interchangeable barrels, solid stainless steel. And Wayne, like you saw at the show, people love picking them up and just holding them. And it's just like, they pick it up and it's like, wow, this is like a real gun.
That's great. I saw it. My wife and I were at the show, and she's a gun aficionado even more than I am. And she said it was the best booth at the entire gun show. Out of thousands of booths was Gordon's booth, Bond Arms. To celebrate America's 250th anniversary, Bond Arms is releasing the American 250 edition handgun at a special price only for my fans. Tell us about it.
So one thing that we wanted to do, when I graduated in 1976, it was the bicentennial, and that's all they talked about all year long. And so when this 250th anniversary was coming up, we really wanted to do something special on this. And what you're seeing on the screen right now is the stainless steel version. It's 45 long Colt and 410 shotgun shell, very well built. I mean, our guns are built like a tank. People love the quality. They call it a hand cannon, best snake gun you've ever had. Oh yeah, there's a beautiful side with the flag and the Liberty. And people just love the way that we do things. I mean, they'll come to our booth every year and just go, wow, what are y'all doing this year? You know, what crazy thing are you doing this year? So the American 250, we're really going to focus on that. We want to give everybody the opportunity to own a piece of history.
Gun. What a beautiful gun. What a gorgeous gun. The engravings. Wow. And I love that name, hand cannon. I want a hand cannon. Mine got delivered today. I'll have them for next week's show. My own personal hand cannon from Bond Arms. How do you get it? Go to getbondarms.com. See the number on the screen, getbondarms.com, or call 817-573-4445. See the disclaimer on the bottom of the screen for certain restrictions. Getbondarms.com. Gordon, thank you.
Thank you, Wayne.
Proof from Las Vegas that Democrats are possessed by demons. They're not even hiding it anymore. So this story is no knock on Vegas. The demon Democrats I'm about to tell you about are everywhere across America. The proof was on display on Wednesday morning at the Clark County Commission meeting in Las Vegas. Guess who opened this official government meeting with an invocation? Not a Catholic priest, not a Christian pastor, not a Jewish rabbi. Can you guess? Drum roll, please. The Democrat-dominated county commission asked a representative of the Satanic Temple to give the opening prayer. Yes, a Satan worshiper led the prayer to open a public government meeting. Literally, a demonic Satan worshiper with devil's horns on its head. Is it a guy or a girl? I don't even know. The it with horns on its head. And the Democrat commissioners all bowed their heads as this demonic witch led the prayer. All right, I got to laugh. I read these stories in between breaks, and one of my good buddies, he's become a great friend. Actually, one of my great friends is going to be on the show in a second as my guest, and he's a lawyer, Barack Lurie. But another great friend who's a lawyer is David Chesnoff, and he's the celebrity lawyer of Las Vegas. Anybody who gets in trouble goes to David Chesnoff. Every celebrity represents Mike Tyson, Paris Hilton, Tiger Woods. He may be the biggest celebrity lawyer outside of maybe one or two in L.A. in the world. And the lead story at the Daily Mail is NFL star Josh Jacobs turns himself into police as he arrested on 5 domestic violence charges, and his attorney is David Chesnoff. My friend David is in the middle of every big star when they get arrested. It's unbelievable. But, you know, that's what's great about America is everyone gets their day in court, unless you're a conservative. Then nobody cares. Then they throw the book at you, put you in isolation in prison for months at a time, deny you things, have the other inmates throw crap at you. It's just, and if you're Donald Trump, they raid your lawyers, they raid your home, Mar-a-Lago. There is no law anymore if you're a conservative. They persecute you like it's Nazi Germany or the Soviet Union. But for anybody else, like if you're a black guy who makes $20 million a year in the NFL, you get your day in court. The world cannot find you guilty until you are found guilty or presumed innocent. not a conservative, not the president, not a Republican MAGA star. Nope. But thank God David's on our team. He's a good guy. And he actually is a fan of President Trump, and he's on he's on the Homeland Commission of the United States of America. And we go to dinner all the time. Great friend of mine. Lost Soldier Oil and Gas is the sponsor of this segment of the show. America is focused on energy independence. Enter the perfect company for that, Lost Soldier Oil and Gas. It took 40 years to piece together this 40,000-acre giant gas discovery in Wyoming, the first 4,000 feet drilled so far, estimated to contain up to 6 trillion cubic feet of gas, making it one of the largest natural gas discoveries in the Rocky Mountain region in the last 30 years. And it's all because of the surge of AI data centers. They're placing huge demands, as all of you know, on energy resources. A lot of my fans are very unhappy with data centers and very skeptical how this is going to affect us. Well, this is how we power the AI future of America with inexpensive, clean natural gas. Headed by oil and gas legend Mark Bruner, whose previous public companies, Penteco Energy and Ultra Petroleum, delivered spectacular returns for investors. At its peak, Ultra Petroleum alone, I know Penteco was 100 to 1 they delivered. For every dollar you put in, you got back 100. Ultra Petroleum, 1,000 to 1. For every dollar you put in, you got back 1,000. At its peak, a $10,000 investment turned into over $13 million. How'd you like to invest $10,000 and it turns into $13 million? But of course, a reminder: past performance does not automatically mean future performance, right? You got to always give people that truth, that reality statement. But it sure helps to have someone great, a CEO who's done it before and done it big. And that's Mark Bruner. To learn more about Lost Soldier Oil and Gas opportunity, go to lostsoldier.com. Someone will get back to you. Fill out the contact form. They'll get right back to you. Lostsoldier.com. Lostsoldier.com. I invested twice last year. I intend to do it again this year. I believe in this project. I really do. Exciting, exciting stuff. So just to let you know, I put my own money where my mouth is. All right, our guest is that other attorney who's a great friend of mine, Barak Lurie, attorney, best-selling author of the Atheism Kills series, radio podcast host. His website is baraklurie.com, big believer in America and a big believer and supporter of Israel as well. And I love and respect both of those. President Trump once said that about me. He said the guy loves America, the guy loves Israel, Wayne Allyn. So I feel the same way as you, Barak. Got to protect our great ally, Israel. And it's hard to believe how many people out there suddenly have turned terribly negative about Israel. It's very disgraceful and disgusting, and I can't stand seeing it.
It's very tough to hear it, Wayne, and thank you for having me on the show again. The fact is that both America and Israel are the two most moral countries in the world. And man, it's just awesome to be a citizen of both. I'm a dual citizen. I'm very proud of that. They really are great messengers of Ten Commandments and great messengers of progress and innovation. I could not be more proud. So we need to fight for America. We need to fight for Israel as well. It's a mutual fight.
And by the way, I don't know where your mic is, but the reception, the audio is not good right now. So maybe it's a little close to you. I don't know if you're using something different than you usually use.
Okay,
it's too far from you. They're telling me it's too far from you. Maybe usually have it closer. There we go. So the U.S. carried out self-defense strikes in Iran today, targeting missile launch sites and Iranian boats. What do you think's going on there? I think you and I generally think alike on everything, and I'm always on Trump's side, on his team, on his side and on his team, but he knows things I don't know, so I never try and criticize Trump. I try and never do that, but I'm guessing you agree with me. I think he's running after a deal, and there's never going to be a deal because these guys can never keep their word. So if I was him, I would bomb the hell out of them till they cry uncle. I don't know why he's being so nice to them.
Yeah, I think part of the calculation is that the time actually works in our favor. I mean, that the Iranians may think that they're playing the game of time with us because of midterm elections, popularity, and things like that. You've heard that on the news everywhere. But also time works in our favor. It actually cripples the Iranian regime by this blockade. And that might have been part of his calculation. It may also be that he wants now to actually attack. And that's what he's beginning to do. So, look, I never really thought that there was much to it, that there would be an actual settlement agreement, an actual agreement, diplomatic arrangement between the two parties. And they were always talking about how we're 95% of the way there. Look, you can believe in 95% of the things in the world out there, but the reality is that 5% might mean a lot. And just look at John Fetterman, for example. He agrees 95% of the time with the Democrat Party, but it's the 5% that's alienating him from the Democrat Party. So I suspect that the 5% that the Iranians are balking at is the really tough stuff. So I think we're not going to see a deal, and certainly not the likes that the Iranians think that there might be. This is going to be a very interesting time. I think something big will happen within the next week.
Yeah, I had a guest on last week. I don't know what you think of this. Brigitte Gabriel is one of the world's great Middle Eastern experts, born and raised in Lebanon, Lebanese Christian, great lady. And I asked her last Tuesday, Trump was going to bomb Iran. And I had her on the show, I think it was on Wednesday, the next day. And I said, why do you think he postponed? Because I know that Saudi Arabia and Qatar begged him to not bomb. And she said, I'll tell you why. I know why. She said, I know for a fact why. She said, because there's a major Muslim holiday going on, and they're all the pilgrims are going to Mecca at this moment. And she said that holiday is up next week on Friday, which would be this Friday, 3 days from now, or 4 days from now. She said after that, he can bomb as much as he wants. Until then, he'd be upsetting the entire Muslim world if he bombed, and he might, by mistake, result in a lot of Muslims who are on this pilgrimage being killed, because the minute we bomb Iran, they're going to bomb Saudi Arabia and Dubai and UAE and Qatar, and they may get killed in the pilgrimage. So she said when the holiday's up on Friday of next week, not last Friday, this coming Friday, she said that that's when Trump can bomb. That could very well be the reason he's been stalling and stalling and stalling.
I know Brigitte, and I think that's a brilliant analysis on her part. I have to admit that I did not think about that, but that also explains the reason why Trump would not have said anything about this himself. He wouldn't have said, well, I'm just going to wait till these Muslim holidays are over. And then
right. You're not going to tell them that.
Yeah, you wouldn't do that. So I think it's a very good explanation. Another explanation is that it could be that the Americans are actually lacking in some arsenal. I mean, the fact is that we've really crippled a lot of our munitions over the past 4 years, actually say 5 years, with Biden in charge. And you remember that he was just basically decapitating the American military. It's not as if you can turn on an on switch and all of a sudden all the equipment is back there. So that is thanks to the Democrats, of course. But we really have to spend some time maybe rebuilding a lot of our own arsenal. As much as we weren't the ones bombed, we still have to use a lot of military equipment and bombs and missiles ourselves. So that could be part of the explanation as well.
Well, and you mentioned the 85 billion we left on the ground in Afghanistan. Don't forget how much we gave to Ukraine. How many missiles that we need and weapons we need, and I guess planes and tanks and things that we could have used, we gave them to Ukraine. So between Afghanistan and Ukraine, we gave away all our military equipment. Of course, the defense contractors love that, because by law, it has to be refilled, the pipeline. So they're making money hand over foot, So normally I used to be pro-defense contractor. Now I kind of feel about them the way I feel about Big Pharma. All they want is money, 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 money. They're not out for our best interests. They just want us to be in war after war to spend lots of money. So I'm not exactly pro-defense contractor nowadays either. None of these people are patriots, Barack. They just want to make money, just like Big Pharma. I don't think they wanted to kill anybody with the COVID vaccine, but they also didn't want to tell us that when it didn't work, so that they would keep making money and their stocks would keep going up.
Right, and also to dismiss the possibility of ivermectin and such, and that by doing so, then they would say that they would have emergency authority to issue and the
correct.
Point that you and I have made. Look, I mean, the Ukraine situation is an excellent point. It's another one that I want to make, which is, look, the fact is that we don't have an infinite supply of military goodies to launch at Iran or to any other country. At some point, we're going to have to look at refilling our arsenal. And that might very well be the time that Trump is using right now. So we're days away from, or maybe even minutes away, for that matter, from a deal with Iran, but it's always getting pushed back. We've been hearing this for
a long time.
Yeah, for a long time. And I think, just like you, Wayne, I really do trust Trump's instincts here, his gut. And I'm very confident that he's not going to enter into a deal that will somehow compromise American interests or to make us look like we lost, or worse yet, make them feel like they've extracted some sort of a great victory, and that they've proved that we are a paper tiger of some kind.
I will say never bet against Trump. NBAT, never bet against Trump. Barack Lurie, thank you. Hi, I'm Wayne Allyn from Vertical Research Advisory, VRA, Kip Herridge's one-of-a-kind global investment and economic newsletter. Listen up. Trump is in charge. The glory days are here.
Growth rates are only going to grow from here.
This is your 4-year window to make a fortune and set up your retirement for the rest of your life. Kip wins whether the markets are up or down, whether the economy is up or down.
We set our folks up for long-term success.
For 21 years, Kip's been a friend, as well as my personal financial advisor. During that time, he's beaten the markets 86% of the time, while the average Wall Street money manager loses the market 90% of the time. Now Kip is predicting a new golden age for the economy. Let Kip prove it to you for free. Kip's offering his daily VRA investment letter completely free for 2 weeks. Free for 2 weeks. Try it for 2 weeks. I know you'll stay for life. Join now at VRAinsider.com. President Trump wants to make America the energy capital of the world, make America energy independent again. Here is a project that could help accomplish that, or certainly go a long way to helping accomplish it. I'm so proud to introduce you to a real America hero of the energy industry, Mark Bruner, founder and CEO of Lost Soldier Oil and Gas. Mark is a second-generation oil and gas legend whose companies have created more than $15 billion in shareholder value, including Ultra Petroleum. But Lost Soldier could be bigger than Ultra Petroleum, with what could be the largest gas discovery in the United States in 100 years. It's 40,000 acres. It took them 40 years to piece it together in Wyoming. Mark, welcome. How are you?
I'm great. Good to see you again, Wayne.
Tell us more about Lost Soldier. What have you got?
Well, I think we've got a really big gas field. I mean, in order to understand why it's just being done now, you got to understand the history. There was a uranium mine out here, and whenever there was a meltdown by 3 Mile Island, they started reclamating this mine and shut it down. 3 years ago, I got a call that basically asked me if I would drill it because they finally got the release and the reclamation was over and they had permits to drill it. So we drilled it, and it's the biggest discovery that I've ever made. Okay, it's basically deep overpressured gas. Starting at around 13,000 feet, it's like a layer cake. It's just zone of overpressure is what it is. So we're very excited about it. The other great thing is that it's surrounded by infrastructure, legacy fields that are essentially run out, and billions of dollars of infrastructure is there for us to utilize, and we don't have to build it. We're building a 5-mile line to hook into that infrastructure, and we believe we can produce up to 400 million a day within 36 months to fill that line, and then we're going to build a bigger line. That's the plan, and yeah, we couldn't be more excited about what we have.
Hey, Mark, listen, I want to make sure people that contact you, if they're accredited investors and they want to hear more about the project, they want to get involved, they go to lostsoldier.com. Lostsoldier.com. Mark's got a whole team. Every one of them has 40 plus years of experience in the energy and oil business, and they will contact you, call you back, or email you back, and they'll. This is Wayne Allyn. If you're sick and tired of supporting woke companies, I have great news for you. You don't have to anymore. You can shop where my family shops at GreatPatriotStore.com. My team researched thousands of companies for my best-selling book, The Great Patriot Boycott Book, and one stood out above all, GreatPatriotStore.com. This is the answer to inflation. Hundreds of household products that you're already buying. Much higher quality, no toxic chemicals, delivered right to your door at incredible prices. 20,000 American families are joining every month, and you should too. And now they've got the beef, pasture-raised with no hormones, antibiotics, or mRNA ever, exclusively available only to their members. Like Costco or Sam's Club, you need to become a member. Go to GreatPatriotStore.com, fill out the form, and they'll contact you right away. And boom, you're a member. For a limited time, the annual membership is $1. Go to GreatPatriotStore.com. That's GreatPatriotStore.com. All right, Wayne Allen, the root's on fire. What was I saying before the break? I was talking about that Josh Jacobs, the running back for the Green Bay Packers, in a lot of trouble now for supposedly beating his wife or girlfriend or whatever person was in the house with him, the woman that was in the house with him. Just like all these athletes, they're all beating their girlfriends, beating their wives. It's been going on for 40 years. No one does anything about it. And as sad as that situation is, it's still much sadder what these court systems do to Republicans. Much sadder. What they did to January 6ers, what they did to Trump and his friends, what the government did to me. It's a joke. It's a joke. These guys, these thugs who beat and attack and rape and murder, they're presumed innocent. And no one's ever going to raid their lawyer's office. No one is ever going to raid their lawyer, my friend David Chesnoff, because he represents some guy who supposedly beat his girlfriend, but is presumed innocent. But they do it every day. They did it again and again. They raided Trump's lawyers. They raided their home and their office. I thought a lawyer is a privileged conversation. No, they'll destroy your life. If Trump ever admits he's guilty about something to a lawyer, they'll destroy the lawyer's life to get that from that lawyer. You can go on being a lawyer, make millions of dollars, and life's good, and belong to your country club, and ride around in a limo and your yacht and your private jet, as long as you rat on Trump. I mean, these are the deals they offered. But if you won't rat on Trump, we'll destroy your life and take it all away from you. And they did that deal with his campaign managers. They did that deal with people like Peter Navarro. They tried to do it with, tried to pressure him to rat on Trump. There are a lot of them that never ratted, but that their lives were ruined over it. And the January 6ers. But nobody does that to Josh Jacobs. No one's ever going to do it to an NFL player. Who did Trump hurt? No one. But these guys, try to do that to a black guy. Do that to the lawyer of a black guy in the United States of America. Can you imagine? You'd have BLM. You'd have Jesse Jackson. He's dead now, but if this had been years ago, you'd have Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton screaming in the press and leading nationwide marches and nationwide boycotts. Who leads those for Republicans? Nobody. Nobody. Hassan Piker, far-left Turkish-American millionaire and Twitch streamer Hassan Piker, appears to have committed an operational security mistake. By mistake, he admitted on TV in an interview that everything that all the left is doing is being funded by American Marxist tech financier Neville Roy Singham, living in China, and linked by the New York Times to Chinese Communist Party-aligned propaganda networks. And he's a major financer of pro-Marxist revolutionary NGOs operating in the United States. And Hassan Piker says it out loud by mistake. So that's who's funding all these operations. Guy tied in with the Chinese Communist Party. Washington National's Director of Community Relations admits on hidden camera with the O'Keefe Media Group. I love him. He is fantastic, James O'Keefe. He admits on hidden camera to discriminating against Christian pitcher Trevor Williams. He told an undercover journalist he admitted to religious discrimination against Christian pitcher. And he also admitted that he surveilled the Nationals fans' Google history. One of our pitchers, Trevor Williams, he's super Christian Catholic. All these tattoos that mean a lot, he said. The Dodgers had a group who were drag queens who sometimes dressed up as nuns. And Trevor Williams, the player, went on social media. This is my religion, you're mocking it. And because of that, we don't use Trevor on social media anymore. So he would side with drag queens over a star player who's a Christian. That's the left. That's what you're voting for when you vote Democrat. They love drag queens. Oh, my God. Tulsi Gabbard teases major bombshells are about to come before she leaves the Trump administration. So we'll see. She basically just announced her resignation because her husband has cancer. Oh, that's the other one. Her husband has a rare form of bone cancer. I mentioned before that so many people, Kyle Busch drops dead suddenly. Let's see, John McCain's son drops dead suddenly, and she's leaving her post because her husband has a rare, very aggressive form of bone cancer. And I said, there's another one. I would ask Tulsi Gabbard, was your husband vaccinated? Was he boosted? Was he forced to vaccinate? By his employer, by the military. I'm not sure what he does, but I know she was in the military, and he's probably in government. Who forced him to vaccinate? I don't know. I'd love to know. And if he was vaccinated, is that the reason for this rare form of aggressive bone cancer? But anyway, she's teasing that she's going to release major bombshells before leaving the Trump administration. And the rumor is that the bombshells involve the 2020 election. They've got proof that the election was stolen and had a lot of help from foreign enemies of the United States. Of course it was. And of course that's what happened. I've said this for 6 years now. 2020 to 2026, going on 7 years. I guessed it from day one. Always right on this show. That's why you tune in. I'm Wayne Allyn, otherwise known as War. Have a great night. God bless. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Hi, I'm Wayne Allyn, CEO, conservative TV and radio host, and best-selling author. I believe in America and American exceptionalism. America is now focused on energy independence. Enter Lost Soldier Oil and Gas. It took 40 years to piece together this 40,000-acre giant gas discovery. The first 4,000 feet drilled so far are estimated to contain up to 6 trillion cubic feet of gas, making it one of the largest natural gas discoveries in the Rocky Mountain region in the last 30 years. This is how we power the AI future of America with clean natural gas. Headed by oil and gas legend Mark Bruner, whose previous public companies, Pinnacle Energy and Ultra Petroleum, delivered spectacular returns for investors. At its peak, a $10,000 investment in Ultra Petroleum turned into over $13 million. To learn more about this Lost Soldier oil and gas opportunity, go to lostsoldier.com. Fill out the contact form. That's lostsoldier.com.